Hi, I'm Naveen. I've been working as a corporate trainer since long. It's been almost 15 years. Why I chose this profession? People ask me generally that why you chose this profession. I chose this profession because it brings people closer. I love to talk to people. Rather than sitting in an isolation in a cabin, I would prefer to talk to people. I would love to resolve their issues. So as I told you, I've been a soft skills trainer. First thing, the first problem which comes to your mind, what I have been watching and observing is that we try to translate our Hindi in English. English is not our native language. And what happens with Hindi is that once we start thinking in Hindi, we think very fast, and then we are not able to translate that Hindi word in English. So, our rate of speech in Hindi is pretty high. So what happens is that we go for it, our mind goes for a toss, because, we are not in habit of processing this language so fast. Another point would be that these two are completely different languages. English has got its grammar and this Hindi is got its vyakaran. What people do, which is called mother tongue influences, that what people generally do is that they completely translate the whole line, and then the problem begins. If you would say that मैं घर जाता हूँ in Hindi, then and if you translate in English with the same sequence, the result would be I home go. It doesn't look right? That's wrong. That's completely wrong. So I would suggest the very first thing to speak, to improve, would be start thinking in English. It will resolve most of the issues. Another thing would be that you need to open your mouth a little bit more. What happens is this, that generally people do not open their mouth. The problem with I'm not trying to be a racist here, but it's just that I wanted to tell you that what happens is when you do not open your mouth, you are not able to pronounce correctly. That's what happens. That's what happens down south. The people who have their first language, native language as Malayali, and they do not open their mouth too much. And the best trainers we have had, I've seen that, I've observed that best trainers are from Calcutta. You know why? Because their native language is Bengali. And in Bengali, if you want to speak that language, you need to open your mouth a bit more, right? So if you are opening your mouth, there are very less chances that your pronunciation could go wrong. Okay, let me share one example. Do you remember exactly what happened when you start driving? Just try and recall that day when you were sitting on the front seat of your own car, okay, and that trainer was just sitting beside you. You remember that day? It was damn difficult. It looked very, very difficult, but now you can drive easily. Okay, let's go back. The first day when you were sitting in the front seat, lot of things were coming in your head, right? You didn't know that the trainer was giving you instructions and you were trying to follow the instructions, but you were feeling like, how could I go ahead and do so many things at one point of time? I have got one mind, okay, I've got two hands and two legs, but there are one clutch, there's one accelerator and one brake is there. I need to switch the gear as well with my hands, and I need to look in the rear view mirror as well. At the same time, I need to look on the road as well. Okay, so this takes toll on you, and you get you get confused. Okay, but it takes a while. Slowly and gradually you start driving, you find it a little easier, better than the first day. That's what happens with English as well. If you will get in a habit of thinking in English and speaking, what will happen with time? Over time, your jaw, your body language, your eyes, your hand, every part of your body would get accustomed to English. Every part of your body get used to of English, comfortable with English. So what will happen? You don't have to, after a certain time, you wouldn't have to remind every now and then that I need to say this. It will come naturally. The process will be more organic, but it takes time. You know that what comes overnight goes overnight, okay? So just keep on practicing the language. The rate of speech should be slow, and that's the only way to learn this language, and I can bet on that. Okay, so when we talk about the module, we have got 3 different modules, courses designed for different kind of students, okay? First would be the basic spoken English. This module would include basic grammar, basic conversation, talking on common topics, couple of activities like just a minute round. One has to speak for a minute about anything on the face of this earth, okay? You would be taught a little bit of grammar as well. Okay, the second course we have designed is for intermediate. It is for the people who are well versed with English, they know English, they read English, but they have got hesitation. They face barriers, little barriers when it comes to English. They are not fluent, okay? So what we have planned for them is a lot of activities like jam, like group discussions, so that you are able to talk in this language fluently. The last module, but the best one, is called Proficient. This Proficient module would allow you to think like a native speaker of English. It would allow you to think more coherently. It will allow you to think in English and speak very, very fluently. It would include the courses, the different certification exams as well, like IELTS, like TOEFL, like Pearson test. So it would include, in a way, the 4 basic things: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And you will be judged on all these 4 parameters. So in a way, if I could say that in a way, it is as good as, you will be as good as native speaker once you are done with this course. Say for an instance, if you are planning to go abroad for higher studies, you need to go through certain tests like IELTS and TOEFL. TOEFL stands for Test of English as a Foreign Language, and that is these certifications have become over time the eligibility criteria for higher studies. So if you want to go to US or Australia or in any other university, you need to have great command over the language.